Hello, everyone. Um, I'm not really here to talk about anything real fancy or something today. I just want to sort of make a video talking about this one subject. Something really terrible has happened to a very good friend of mine. You all know who he is as Zipblockgory. I'm sure most of you have heard by now that his dad passed away. I don't know exactly when it happened, but I can only imagine all of the mental anguish that Victor is going through right now, and I just wanted to. I just felt the most I really said about it was. The most I really said about it was that I just made a comment on his channel saying that, hey, I heard about what happened to your dad, and that's really terrible, but uh, my heart goes out to you and your family, but I didn't really feel like that was enough. I felt like I should probably do what everybody else is doing and just make a video of my own expressing my condolences and my sympathy to Victor and his friends and family. I'm going to tell you right now, losing a loved one like that, it's a very hard blow. I know. I know very well. Now, to most of you, this really may not seem like something that bad, but I had a grandmother who I was extremely close to. In fact, I was a lot closer to her than I was any of my actual parents, any of my actual family members. I was more attached to her than I was my own real physical parents, because she understood me. She she helped me with my problems. She helped me with my my schoolwork and all of that stuff. And I spent a lot of time with her. I spent a lot of time sitting and talking with her. And before she passed on, many years earlier, my grandfather, who was not really, I didn't really know him that well, because when I did know him, I was only like in first grade, and I was such a spoiled little kid that whenever he made some kind of mistake, that I would just sort of yell at him, and I would just sort of get on his case about shit, even though it wasn't even his fucking fault. And even after he passed away, it wasn't until I became a lot more mature that I really just felt really shitty and bad about that whole ordeal. But he himself wasn't exactly he himself wasn't exactly a very mentally healthy person, because most of the time most of the times I remember spending with him as a young kid, he would start out as an incredibly nice and empathetic man, but then later on in the day he would become really hostile, and he would snap at me, and he would just become such an unlikable asshole. But that's only because he was kind of a drunk. So I didn't really feel anything whenever he actually passed away. Whether that had to do with my grandfather himself, or just the way that I thought when I was a little kid, I I have no idea. But when she passed away, when my grandmother died, it left a gigantic gaping hole inside of me, and it still leaves an enormous gaping hole inside of me. Because sometimes I just remember the times I used to have with her, and I would just be on the very cutting edge of a mental breakdown. Because when somebody that close to you, when somebody that important in your life, when somebody that significant that affects you as a person, as a human being, whenever they actually die, that is extremely painful to go through. Not only painful to you, of course, but all the people around you. I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore. For those of you wondering what the music is, it's the main menu theme from Castlevania Rondo of Blood. I thought it was some very soothing funeral type music to be playing, but yeah. Victor, you know, man, I don't really know what type of relationship you had with your dad. I don't know if you and him got along really well. I don't know if you and him were got real angry with each other, but I will say that whether you maybe if he liked you or not, maybe if you liked him, it still doesn't really make things better whenever he really passes away. It just sort of makes you feel, it just sort of makes your life a little bit more empty. Because contrary to popular belief, you know, people can change. And of course, when they die, they never even have the ability to change. And you're denied to have one more human being in your life that you can interact with, that can influence you. So that's that's a really painful, agonizing thing to endure. And somebody like that just dies on you. But yeah, Victor, I really appreciate the support you've been giving me. I appreciate how you've commented on most of my videos. I've always appreciated talking with you on Skype, man. And I am extremely sorry to hear about this. This is really a terrible thing, not just to happen with you, but to anybody. You know, whenever you lose a parent, whenever you lose one of those two important people in your life that helped to mold you into the person you are, that's never a good thing. So I'm here for you. If there's anything you want from me or from anybody, then all you have to do is ask, man. That's all. I would have never wanted this to happen to you or anybody else I know. So, I'm really sorry to hear about this, dude, and, you know, my heart, my condolences, my prayers all go out to you and your family who are experiencing all this pain and all this anguish. So, that's all I got. I can't really say anything more. I can't really provide any type of poetry or soliloquy, kind of like what Steve did in his video, which was extremely short, but I can say that I'm so sorry to hear about this. It's never really a good thing to ever witness losing somebody like that. So, just please take care of yourself, man. I hope you eventually get better from this event at some point. But one last thing I do want to say, man, is that you don't have to push yourself to make any more videos. You don't have to do anything more like that. You can have all the time you want to sort of grieve and, you know, get all the grief, get all of the pain and all the emotional agony out of your system. None of us will bother you in that aspect. So, yeah, that's it. See you guys later. And Victor, a moment of silence for your father. I'm so sorry to hear about that. It's really a horrible thing that's happened. I hope you get over. I hope you get over it someday or sometime soon. But you know, there's no hurry. There's no hurry at all. So again, you have my sympathies. I believe that your father is probably in a much better place now. I'm not. You can all tell that I'm probably not a very good eulogist, but you know, whatever. I felt like I had to say something. All right. I'll see you all later.